Members of a closed church in Jamesville gathered for a candlelight vigil as they look to a higher power to reopen their doors. St. Mary's Church was closed by the Syracuse Diocese in July of 2007 due to a lack of priests in the area. The church is scheduled to go before the Vatican Saturday to address the closure. Parishioners have been working to compile reasons why the church should stay open and are hoping their church will get a second chance.
Again, we're cautiously optimistic. We're grateful for the opportunity to have a hearing. We understand from a church law expert that this is a unique, significant, and historic event, and we're very grateful.
It will be several weeks before parishioners will hear a final decision from the Vatican. St. Mary's is the only Catholic church in Jamesville.
Good evening, I'm Carrie Lazarus. Hopes for a Christmas Mass in their shuttered church have been dashed. Supporters of St. Mary's in Jamesville were hoping a recent Vatican decree would help open the church again for weekly services starting this Christmas weekend. But the Diocese of Syracuse says today it will remain closed. Jeff Kulikowski is live at the church in Jamesville. Jeff, didn't the Vatican say St. Mary's should be open? What is this all about?
Yeah, Carrie, I think what you have here with this latest decree is you have two groups reading it quite differently. The bishop says that these decrees do come in Latin, so he says you really have to be careful as to exactly what they say. And according to him, this latest decree states the church must be available in the future on occasion for church services.
But the Vatican is very clear that this doesn't mean that it'll be regular weekend masses and liturgies there, but there will be occasional worship services held in the former building.
The diocese closed the church in 2006 and merged the parish with Holy Cross in DeWitt. It says several reasons: lack of personnel, size of the congregation, and proximity to other churches led to the decision. The bishop says it's still the case now. He says the latest decree from the Vatican also upholds that merger of the parishes.
If a person has been to Rome, they know that there are many church buildings in Rome, but they're not all parishes. There's churches on almost every corner.
After the beginning of the year, I'm told by the bishop, the diocese will start planning out how they can use this again on an occasional basis for things like maybe funerals or weddings. Carrie, also the supporters are planning on having a prayer service here at the church, 5:30 on Thursday night.
Jeff, thank you. In November, the Vatican's highest court upheld the decision of the Diocese of Springfield to close 3 Western Massachusetts parishes, including one that's been occupied by worshipers protesting its closure for 3 years. It did not find the bishop had enough reason to downgrade the buildings to secular use so they could be sold.
The parishioners of the now closed St. Mary's Church in Jamesville gathered last night for a Christmas prayer service. The ceremony comes after a second Vatican ruling was handed down. The ruling states St. Mary should remain a sacred space and cannot be transitioned for secular use. Parishioners believe that means St. Mary should be reopened immediately, but Bishop Cunningham disagrees and the church remains closed.
We get together to honor God, and it's too bad we can't honor God inside. So we honor him outside. But it shows the vitality of the community that comes together, and we have come together for the last 4 years.
The parishioners have been gathering in front of St. Mary's Church every week since it closed back in 2007, and even some have traveled to Rome, Italy to plead their case.
Spring flowers bloom outside St. Mary's Church in Jamesville, just in time for Easter. But as Christians observe their most holy week, parishioners here still cannot worship inside this church.
My husband and I have 4 little kids, and they ask us, you know, why are we outside? Why are we outside? And we're hoping that someday, just like they want to go inside, that we'll all be able to go inside soon.
Now it's filing new motions in Rome to put the Vatican's decision into action. 10 months ago, the church won its appeal with the Vatican's highest court, ruling the church needs to be maintained as a Catholic worship site. The Diocese of Syracuse interprets that decision differently and has kept the doors locked. Back in 2007, the diocese closed St. Mary's as part of the reconfiguration of churches. This community argued it was always a thriving parish, and over the years, they continuously held Sunday services outside the church. Their strength and religion never wavering.
It's not a building that we're fighting for. It's a community. We feel like we're moving in the right direction, so it's very optimistic.
Parishioners say the fight to save this church has been a long, drawn-out legal battle, but just this week, another bump in the road. Now the rectory is up for auction.
We were very surprised. We think it's a little premature given that our appeal process is still in motion. We want to work with the diocese and have this church open.
So they'll continue to rely on their faith to guide them, praying that the blessings of Easter include a rebirth of St. Mary's. Reporting from Jamesville tonight, I'm Caitlin Nuclau.
Parishioners of St. Mary's Church in Jamesville come together to celebrate Easter while also raising money to continue their fight to reopen the church. St. Mary's was closed by the Syracuse Diocese back in 2007, and since then its members have been working to reverse that decision. Saturday, the group gathered at nearby Jamesville Community Church for an Easter concert put on by opera singer John Davies and his family. Donations collected at the concert will go toward legal fees, which have cost about $30,000 so far. Parishioners say they will continue to work toward reuniting their congregation for both the good of their members and the local church community as a whole.
All we really want is to have back what we had to begin with. We're a vibrant church, we're financially solvent, and we can be a very positive aspect of Holy Cross, which would be our parent church.
Before the concert, parishioners gathered in front of St. Mary's Rectory to hold a prayer service. The building is set to be auctioned off by the Syracuse Diocese on April 24th.